Welcome to the world's first, largest, and only dance talk radio show. I'm your host, Bertie Tolar. This is the only show that's all about taking down the slave box. That's your friend TV that you love to love, and I need you to hate. So let me tell you what happened and why I'm doing this show right now. I was just up in the shower, and I started smiling. And this story is going to seem unrelated to TV at the beginning, but like everything with me, this always goes back to TV because I told you I'm going to free you from this. So it was about 3:43 in the morning here in Shanghai, China, and I'm up taking a shower, and for some reason I just started laughing, smiling in the shower. And I didn't realize the reason for a few seconds, but I was laughing because people have been laughing at me. They've been laughing at me. And it manifested itself a couple weeks ago. Actually, it was my wife that picked up on it before me. And then, like a day or two later, I picked up on it. And we spoke about it. And that was a few weeks ago. But tonight, I was telling my wife, I said, I know people have been laughing at us because of this tiny apartment. And then we had 2 cats, but now we have 3 because we were out one night and she saw one on the street and couldn't let it stay outside alone. So now we took that in. That's her nature. And I supported it. I was just like, okay, cool. Let's take it in. If you want it. So now we've got 3. And we don't have a lot of money. But I told her, I said, I don't know why I'm happy. In a way, when I was thinking about people laughing at us in the shower, it made me honored because of my father. Because deep down, I know many people wish they had what we have. The only thing we have is contentment. And honestly, I mean, we don't have a lot of money, but we're not dirt poor. I've been in much worse positions. So it's not that we can't live in a place that's bigger or better or just a little more expensive. It's just that this is what we want. We don't have some strong desire to just pay double the rent, buy something twice as big. We don't have that desire. It's not that we can't have something better. We are actually happy. And I'm going to tell you, this, if someone's a psychiatrist, you can analyze the statement that I'm about to make. Many times throughout the day, pretty neutral with how I feel towards just my position. But late at night, when I start thinking about different people that I know and the lives they have, it actually makes me happier. I don't know why. This could be something psychological that I've got to read about. But when I compare myself, because almost everyone I know has more things than me. Everybody's got so much more than me. I know people that just have in terms of physical wealth, in terms of items and houses, apartments, and cars, almost everyone I know has more than us. But for some reason, when I think about most of them, not all, but most of them, most of the people that I know close in my lives, I don't envy them the least bit. I mean, we're living in the land of the one-child policy, and I was just like laughing 1 or 2 hours ago because, everyone has a lot more in savings than us. But the life that our children are going to have, I'm kind of honored that they're being born to this kind of mother. But let me get on with the story. So anyway, I was in the shower laughing and smiling, and it was about this. And I was just laughing at how people have been laughing at me because of the way we live, this lifestyle we have, the tiny apartment, 3 cats, not a lot of money. And to top it off, I'm me. I'm Bertie. I'm the crazy conspiracy theorist, extremist, fundamentalist, everything's an ist with me. I can't just be a normal person. I'm the extremist because I'm like, you've got to get that slave box out of your home. I'm the fundamentalist because I'm like, you have got to get that TV out of your home. I can't just be a normal person with you. And I was laughing at that. Because I know people laugh at me. I know they'll find anything they can to refute the claims that I'm making. To refute these statements. I know that. And for some reason, tonight, I was laughing. And it goes back. Tonight, it just hit me. It goes back to my father. And it almost makes me seem like I was destined to be here right now speaking with you. Letting you know that you've got to get the slave box out of your home. Because it's like a badge of honor. It's like I got shot on duty in the middle of war. And like I live to go on without losing a limb or something. And I walk around showing everybody like, yeah, look at this. Because I'm thinking about my father. And how much they used to tell him he sucked. Because that's all that happens with me. Anytime I start talking about your friend TV, and I'm just like, hey, this is a black hole. It'll just suck up your time. Shut up, Bertie. If I'm like, hey, these actors that you worship, they don't even care about you. All they do is talk about we're not on the same level. Shut up, Bertie. Anytime I talk about, hey, what about your children? They're just going to watch you sit in front of this slave box watching TV all day, and then they're going to copy your habits. Shut up, Bertie. When I'm like, why are you praising your children for copying the actions of something that was presented to them on TV? And then if they copy the wrong actions, you want to go blame someone else and blame all these other people. Shut up, Bertie. When I'm like, hey, these reality shows don't even resemble your reality. Shut up, Bertie. And I was laughing because in a way, I could not have been who I am right now. I couldn't have had the skin to do what I do right now if it wasn't for my father. And I don't know why. For some reason, in the shower, that hit me. And I mentioned this before. He's one of the few men on this earth I respect. Not because he's my father. Not for the fact. Everyone, when I speak to people all the time, I'm like, tell me someone you idolize. Who do you look up to? They're like, I look up to my father. Well, why? Because he gave birth to me. The reason I respect my father is not for the fact that he gave birth to me, but for the virtues that he possesses. For the virtues that he possesses. For the work he does. And I don't want to make this all about praising him, but let me just get that straight right now. The reason I'm about to tell you this story is not for the fact to just say like, okay, my father's better than yours just because he gave birth to me. I'm saying no. For the work that he does. And I won't go into details, but he does what most people do not do. Most people, what do? They see someone homeless. They see a kid on the street. They're like, that's so bad. Walk, and their foot is already in the air. Heel is in a arched upward motion as they prepare to step over the kid. Hopefully drop a penny or two on the ground. Like, yeah, go get an apple. He's like, this is only 12 cents. They're like, go get a bite of an apple. My father's not that kind of man. But anyway, so I respect him. Not for the fact that he gave birth to me. Because any man can make a baby. Look at me. I don't even know what my personal worth is at the moment. And I made a child. I was up laughing because I watched my father. I watched my father get laughed at his whole life for something he was so right about. And it just made me smile so much because it really feels like I must be on the right path. It's just like an elephant sitting in front of me. And people are like, I don't see anything there. I'm like, hey, there's a huge... It's a dinosaur. It's a dinosaurus event. That's what's in front of me, a dinosaurus event. And you don't see that. You don't see that big dinosaurus event in front of me. In front of you, that thing's about to step on you and you don't see that. They're like, nope, don't see anything. Everything's okay. What are you talking about? Stop trying to change things. So, I was laughing in the shower because I know people laugh at me. The first reason people laugh is when I open my mouth about TV. Because that's your friend. That's who you have to defend. You will not accept facts. You will not accept all these networks publicly stating that they don't care about you. You don't care about when I tell you about articles when they're like, yeah, people are dogs and they treat you like dogs. They literally say dogs. It's not an exaggeration. When I say dogs and I'll cover that article, they're just like, people are dogs. We're going to give them the same programming that we give dogs. When I cover that, you're just like, shut up, Birdie. So I know that people are laughing at me. And the main reason, is because of TV. So then it leads everyone to go and try to find things in my personal life to pick at me on, to try to take me down on. Look at you. You don't have a lot of money. Look at you. Look at that small apartment. Look at you, stupid. Got those 3 cats now. You had 2. Now the apartment has that small cat smell. I know you. I know you want to find little things to take me down on because I mentioned your friend TV. And in a way, tonight, it did not matter anymore. I was just happy because it was like, I felt like I was groomed to become who I am now. Because I don't care what you say about me. I'm used to you laughing at me. I'm used to you mocking me. But I'm going to keep going. I'm all about freeing you from this slave box because you don't have any proof. I'll say that again and again and again. You do not have any proof. You have no proof. 0. Nothing. Nilch. Nada. You have no proof that the slave box TV has improved your life any. You can tell me information, but information is not proof. You can tell me about how many different kilometers, how far the sun is from the Earth and from Venus and Mars, and how many rings around Venus there are and Uranus. You can tell me all this information, but information is not proof. Do not confuse the two. So I was up tonight happy because I've been groomed for this. I've been made to be doing what I'm doing right now. I've been made just by the virtue of having my father. And let me tell you how. And I didn't realize that this actually affected me. My whole life, I've seen my father get laughed at. Every Thanksgiving dinner, every Christmas dinner, every Easter dinner, we would go over my grandmother's house. And not even just those special days. I'm talking every week, week after week after week. All the time when my parents were together and my father would be upstairs working on the computer. He was self-taught. Used to work at IBM, then he quit that job to help out with the family business. Then he saw, not that he saw, but he read about this stuff. He was self-taught. He was only reading. The only 3 things I've ever seen him read were the Bible, computer magazines, and computer books. He's told me that he's read the newspaper, but I've never seen it. That's the truth. But I believe that he has. I believe that he does read the newspaper. But so pretty much he's only read computer magazines, computer books, business books also. All right, so 4. Business books, computer books, and computer magazines, and the Bible. And I believe he does read the newspaper. So the reason he was able to see where the future of technology was going was because he read about it day after day, week after week. That's all he did was just read and read and read and programming and learn. He learned those things himself. But this is 2013. Let's go back 20 years. 1993. Do that math really quick. This is 2013, 10 years ago, 2003. 10 years before that, 1993. I was a little boy, and I remember living on the west side of Chicago at the funeral home, and one of my aunts coming upstairs. My auntie Sheila coming upstairs. Oh, your father's not a real man. He doesn't want to go out there and do business like those like your grandfather used to do. He just wants to sit in front of the computer. This is a stupid machine. No one wants to do it. He's just afraid. He doesn't want to go out there. He doesn't know what he's doing. And they would just talk about that. That was just one aunt. Then I would sit there in the house, and then another woman would come up talking all this trash about my father to me. They don't understand. These women do not, and I'm not only talking about my aunts. I'm saying there are women who do not understand that you don't do that in front of a man's father. You don't do that. What do you want this kid to grow up thinking? What do you want him to think? You can only fall into two categories. You're going to grow up and realize that A, these people have been lying to you. They're not good parents. They're disrespectful. They're disrespecting his household by coming in his house talking bad about my father. Or B, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to say, hey, yes, he is lazy. He doesn't want to help out. He doesn't care. He's not doing business. He just wants to stay home. He doesn't care about his family. He's a loser. And the truth is, as a kid, when I was younger, I chose B. I used to believe that my father was a joke because he was talking about, in 1993, the future of computers. And he was the only one. But there were 20 people just laughing at him. 20 people laughing at, Eric, you're so stupid. You're not a real businessman. You don't know what you're doing. You just want to sit in front of a computer. Business is not done in front of a desk. In 1993, it was so easy to laugh at him. And I used to believe them. All these women with grudges coming into his household, disrespecting him. And so most of my life I believed them. And it wasn't until I got older that I started to see, whoa, he was right 15 years ago. And it's not that he was right, it's just because he read about it. It's just like I read about TV. That's all I read about. That's all I read about. TV, the slave box. That's all I talk about. This show is not about anything else. It's only about taking down the slave box. So here's the really interesting thing. You've got all these people that were so wrong, that were wrong in 1993. They were wrong in 1994. They were wrong in 1995. They were wrong in 1996. They were wrong for an eternity. And then, finally, they just get to say, well, okay, I'm just going to buy a computer. And they forgot. What I'm saying is I was groomed to be doing what I'm doing because all I had was a lifetime of watching him get mocked, watching him get laughed at, watching him get insulted, watching him sit there at every family gathering as all the men would just sit there and listen to these weak women just talk about, he's not a real man because he's a business owner talking about some technology that we don't understand because we haven't read about it. So we're just going to ignore him and act like he's crazy and an extremist. We're just going to make our beliefs true because we haven't read anything. We're going to make ignorance facts. Because we won't read. We don't know what he's talking about. We don't really understand it. We're just going to treat it like a joke. He's some sort of conspiracy theorist. He's talking about, in the future, everybody's going to use computers. Stupid. What an idiot. Oh, everybody's going to have a computer. Are you an idiot? This is 1993. Why would I ever buy a computer? Stupid. And for some reason, the strange thing is, everyone in my family seems to have forgotten that. I love them, but everyone forgot that. And this is another point. This is a tangent. This part is not about TV. I just don't get, what is this obsession with fighting in front of your kids, with mocking someone in front of their children, with making fun of them in front of their children. These are not adults. These are grown people who had children as children themselves, coming to me when I'm 13 years old, laughing at my father, calling him, he's not a man. And then I could see if you were right. I could see if you were right. I could see if you said something like, hey, your father's stupid. He's trying to move you to Iraq. In the future, in Iraq, there's going to be some problems. I could see if you were a little right. But when you were so wrong, how can you still continue to speak? How can you ever raise your eyelids? How can you still demand respect of anyone? How can you forget that? But some people, they don't care about being right or wrong. They care about living as slaves. But I'm here in spite of that, because I had him as an example. What did my father do? He took it all in. He took it in stride. He didn't let the slaves stop him, because that's what the slaves want to do. That's what the slaves want you to do. The slaves, remember, the plantation is not guarded from the outside. It's guarded from the inside with the other slaves. You don't have barbed wire fences around the plantation. No, you've got other slaves there to put you back in place. When you're like, hey, thinking about leaving this plantation, they're like, shut up! You extremist, shut up! You fundamentalist! Start calling you names. That's all I'm doing. I'm just trying to bring to light that you have zero proof. There's nothing. You've got to get rid of your slave box. There's nothing. They just insult you left and right. Left and right. Your communities are all broken. You don't even have family units anymore. You don't even have jobs anymore. You're just your grandchildren are set up to be in debt. You're on a one-way track to debt. And you're just like, shut up, Bertie, we love this TV. I'm like, you need to stop watching TV and use your time to figure out how you can avoid your grandchildren falling into debt. Shut up! They're smart right now because they're 5 years old. They're smart right now because they're 3 years old. They're smart, they're cute. Shut up, Bertie. You stop talking about that stuff. I'm like, hey. All this stuff has been... no one even reads about that. No one cares. I'm reading about that stuff. 24-hour TV. You don't read about it. You don't even know what that is. This is their plan. So, you're going to be at home watching Vampire Diaries. Watching some Breaking Bad. You're going to be at home in your bedroom watching Breaking Bad. The technology of the future, it's going to know that you left your bedroom because your TV watches you, mind you. It's going to know that you left your bedroom to go to the living room. So then it's going to make sure that when you step into the living room, the 30 seconds that you miss walking from your bedroom to the living room, you can continue to watch as if you haven't left your bedroom. Then, when it's time for you to leave out in the morning to take your child to school or to leave out to do whatever, you're going to be able to take your smartphone, pick it up, and continue watching your Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones or whatever show you like. You're going to be able to continue watching it on the pad, on the phone, whatever device you have in your hand. Either before or right after you turn off your TV. Slightly before. Then you take that for the 30 seconds that you're walking from your house to your car. And then when you're in the car, it's going to register in the car, and then it pops up on the screen in the car, and then you continue watching it in there during the breaks at traffic lights and stops. So and then the lights in the future will be connected. But it just seems like, oh, you're making that up. You're some extremist. This technology is already being worked on. It's being tried out now. You just go read about it. 24-hour TV. This is what it's called. And then when you get to school, you take your children in school, then it's going to make sure that you always are able to watch your favorite show. You will not have a free moment. You will not be given a free moment. But the thing is, you're so stupid. You're going to fall for the trick. It's always a manufactured demand. You're going to be manufactured. You're going to be engineered, socially engineered to demand it. So instead of realizing that you're enslaved, you're going to say, hey, I wish there was a way that I could not miss this show as I'm walking 30 seconds from my living room to the kitchen. I wish there was a way so that when I'm leaving the kitchen to the car that I could continue watching. You're going to be made to demand that. They're going to make you demand it. And you fall for it every time. The truth is that there's no winning. And that's why I keep saying your only way is to get rid of your slave box. But you still think, I'm just going to teach my children to limit it. All right. Well, why don't you teach your children to limit cocaine? I mean, I think that you'll have a slightly better chance. And what are the chances that you'll be able to teach your children to limit their cocaine use? What are the chances that you'll be able to limit your children's cocaine use? You don't have a chance. You do not have a chance when facing a giant. The only thing is, this is an optional giant. You do not have to face this giant. See, I could see if it were something like water and it was a necessity. But this is a manufactured necessity. You don't have to do it. So I was just up all night, smiling, laughing, because I know that I've been made to do this. Because I've got the will, because of my father. I'm able to put up with all of you laughing at me, with people sending me these silly emails and messages about just all the things you say. I'm used to that. And the real reason that I'm able to do it was because I came from a lifetime of watching my father. And I know that it's okay. Because with some things, you've got to be strong enough to continue. You've got to be strong enough to know that I don't need the validation of the slaves to continue in the direction that I'm going. Because with this, I know that I'm dead on. I know that I'm right. I know you're ignorant because you don't read about this. You would have known about what I'm saying already if you read about it. You would have gotten rid of your slave box long ago if you knew what I was talking about. If you knew how you're being laughed at, mocked. If you knew how they're making you submissive. If you knew how they don't plan on giving your children jobs. If you knew how they don't plan on making you respectable. If you knew how they plan on taking away your family unit. Breaking down your community. If you knew that they planned on sending you to prison. If you knew that they never planned on giving you respect, you would have gotten rid of your slave boxes long ago. But you haven't. So I've got to continue with this show. And I'm used to you laughing. Because you, some of you, I'm not saying all of you, but many of you, were the same group of people that would have laughed at my father 20 years ago. You were the same group of people that would have looked at the magazines that he was reading and called it conspiracy trash. Conspiracy nuts. Nut text. That's what you would have said 20 years ago. You would have called them all kinds of names. And the most polite of them would have been geek. And that's the most polite. You guys you're the same group that's going to try to come disrespect me in front of my child. And I'm just laughing because I'm already on guard. I'm already on guard. You cannot disrespect me to my children because my children are going to be stronger than me, because it's only getting stronger from here on out. Because I was the first generation of children. I was the first generation of children watching their parents get mocked. So I didn't know how to handle it. But I'm going to be, you cannot do this stuff. Try to do this with my children in the future. They're going to be so trained with it. They're going to be able to break you down. They're going to be able to just say, why? Why are you saying that? Tell me, what facts do you disagree with? Why do you disagree with those facts? Show me something in writing to refute those claims. Those are the statements that my children are going to read. See, you cannot be wrong about something so important. That's the thing. That I noticed is one of the fundamental differences with me and others. I'm not as forgiving as, and I said, I really do respect my father. I wish I had his forgiveness. It's hard for me to get that kind of forgiveness. For me, I cannot understand, how do you forgive those groups? See, I want to free those groups, but I don't want to interact with them anymore. I really don't. I want to free them. And I want them, here's how, let me explain to you what type of person I am. So I'm a slave freer. I want to free these slaves from the plantation. But after they're free on the plantation, I do not want them to accompany me on my journey. I want to free them, but I want them to go their own way. I want them to go find their own life. Because I don't believe in forgiving all mistakes. I don't believe in that. I was reading this book, Shantanaram, and it talks a lot about forgiveness. And not only that, there was another book, The 5 People You Meet in Heaven. And these books, they talk a lot about forgiving. And I do get the point. It is important to forgive, but I don't believe that I can just forgive. I don't think you can just come kill everyone in my family. You can't just come kill my brother, kill my sister, kill my wife, kill my cats, kill my father, kill my aunts, kill my cousin. You can't just come kill everyone in my family and then finally you just say, hey, I'm sorry. I need your forgiveness. Because it's true that that hate will eat up at me, but you cannot do that. You cannot just say, well, I made a mistake. You wiped out all of my blood. You obliterated them. And now you beg for forgiveness. And that's the difference between me and someone great. I'm honestly not great enough. I've posed myself with this question so many times. I'm not great enough. I will not do it. I don't believe that I can forgive people who have made mistakes that are too big. You can't come break up my family. Me and my wife get divorced, then our children are separate. You cannot do that and then just say, okay, Bertie, I need your forgiveness. I'm sorry for what I did. No, I don't believe that. What I want you to do is get out of my life right now. You go live your life. You live it to the best you can, but you get out of my life. I will not give you that. You may say I've got hate in my heart, but what about the hate in your heart for not making this a better community so that people like me wouldn't have to do the work of you lazy slaves out there? Oh, he's got some hate in his heart. What about all of you who should have been not talking all this mess in front of someone's children? Of course I've got this hate in my heart. You're just coming in my father's house disrespecting him. And you expect that not to affect me. You expect that not to affect my brother. You expect that not to affect my sisters. You come in a man's house disrespecting him. And then you get mad at the child one day when he's like, no, I don't forgive you. I'll never allow that. I don't want anybody doing that to my house. You get out of my house. You go your own way. You're not going to be my children's godmother. Disrespectful women. But anyway, so I don't believe in forgiveness for everything. But what I do believe is, I'm going to help you. I'm going to free you anyway. But I will not. I cannot forgive some wrongs. I just cannot. What you can do, if you don't like that, is instead of wasting your time trying to tell me, hey, Birdie, you should forgive these people for this and those people for... You need to go use your time to stop all these women. Because I see it all the time. And I'm not just saying women. Sorry. I don't want to attack women. I'm saying you need to go attack these grown children that have children of their own that are just ruining these children's lives. They're just sitting there in front of kids like, they're so young. I'm just going to talk about their mother in front of them. I'm just going to talk about their father in front of them. I'm just going to say this. I'm just going to swear, use profanity in front of them. I'm just going to fight in front of them. I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to gossip in front of them. You need to use your time to tackle those problems rather than try to come to me individually. Because I'm one individual. With all the time that you're going to waste trying to convert me to your way, you might as well go save 50 children. Because there are 50 grown children with children out there doing the same things right now. And those children are going to grow up into one of those two categories I told you about. Either they're going to be disrespectful towards their elders, towards their parents, or they're going to say, hey, you guys are some of the lowest people on earth. Some of the lowest people on earth. You are low. Disrespecting a man's house. I wish, wow. I don't even know what I would do. I already know what I would do. I would go into scorched earth policy. Start burning stuff down. Burning people down. Then I'm out of the country. I'm already at that point where I don't need so many people in my life. I would just start going on a rampage. This person, done, get out of my life. This person, done, get out of my life. This person, done, get out of my life. Get away from my children. Get away from my son. Get away from my daughter. Get away from my wife. Take your hate away from my children. Coming in my house disrespecting me. So what I want you to do is use your time to stop these people. Stop using your time watching a slave box. How are you going to... This is what I'm always talking about. Problems need solutions. Solutions need time. How are you going to tackle these problems if you do not use your time effectively? You don't even have time to confront all these weak children-like parents raising their children in the wrong way because you're stuck in front of the TV, stuck in front of the slave box. You're just like, yeah, but I need to watch 24-hour Vampire Diaries, and I'm going to take it from the bedroom to the living room to the car to the traffic light to my iPad inside the mall and then inside Starbucks. And you cannot do that. What about your children? What about the environment? What about those children in Starbucks that have got to watch their mother just sit there and use the dirtiest words talking to the lady at Starbucks, at KFC? What about the parents at school? What about... No one cares about this. No one cares. I hope I'm not the only one with a father like this that made you strong enough to care. You've really got to get on the same page as me. I mean, this show has drawn up too many emotions, but I honestly was happy at the beginning because I started off smiling. Because I knew that I've been groomed. I knew that I was made to be speaking to you right now. Everything that I'm saying, everything that I'm doing right now, I was made to say to you. Because I've got to take in a lot of your hate. Because anytime I talk about your friend TV, all you come to me with is hate. All you do is slander me. All you do is send me these dirty messages, these dirty emails. All you do is start taking up for your friend TV with no proof. But I'm saying I was made to do what I do. I was destined to do this. Because my father, in a way, groomed me, even though he didn't know. I had to watch him during my whole childhood be slandered, all the while being right. And there was nothing he could say. No matter how much he said, go read this, people wouldn't go read it. No matter how much he said, look at this trend, people wouldn't look at it. No matter how much he said, he explained the future, what he read, what he talked about, what he was doing, nope, people were not interested. And in spite of all that, he had to continue. And he did continue. So all I can do is continue. I'm going to put up with you laughing at me. And I think why I smiled tonight was because I feel like I'm just a fraction as strong as my father. That's the reason I smiled. Because I knew that like father, like son came true. I knew that I'm going down the right path. I'm going to free you from this slave box. Please do go read about it. Get this out of your home. Your children have no hope unless you do. I can tell you, you can go read about the future of your children if you don't know what's coming for them. If you don't care about my kids, your neighbor's kids, your community's kids, if you don't care about anything, please do care about your children. Please do become more selfish and just really care about them. Get that slave box out of your home.
Poo on everything. Poo.
Hi, this is Bertie Tolar, the man who's going to take down TV / the slave box. People often ask me if I don't watch TV or movies, what do I do with my free time? Well, when I'm not working on art or this show, I love writing. Please go to Amazon and get my latest book, Poo on Everything. It's literally as good as the title sounds. For a mere $10, this illustrated, high-quality adult fiction book can let you see me at my greatest and pooiest. Poo on Everything by Dr. Bertie.
Poo on everything. Poo.